as a youth worker, what is it? So we're not therapists, and we can't help with every single problem that they have or have an advice for everything. But we can create safe spaces. So just saying we understand and talking through them to them, and that creates a safe space that makes them want to talk and share their experiences. The second one is avoid judgment. So it's so easy to say, yeah, you're the problem, or you should use your phone less. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. So if you judge a youth, a young person, then next time they won't come to you and ask for help, and it might actually be a real problem. So you want to hear from them. The third thing is know when to refer to a professional. So sometimes it gets so bad, the anxiety, the digital anxiety, or depression, maybe the comparison, the self-esteem issues, they get so bad that there needs to be a professional to help. And it's someone like us, a social worker or another person, or someone that doesn't have constant talking, like a relationship with them, can't solve. That's why there are therapists. That's why there are digital workers and safety workers. We need to refer to a professional when it's above us. And then the fourth one is normalize shared emotions. So this is a problem online, but it stems from offline. In offline situations, we don't share our emotions. That's why in online spaces also we don't share emotions. So just saying, just saying that I'm sad or I got really offended from this comment, it's the same amount of sharing the emotion that is a bit difficult at first. So we should teach to ask. This three questions is important. As we discussed identity at first, and then we discussed how connection between each other or our comparison or how we perceive others. That's another thing that we discussed. Thank you. And we discussed emotions. Emotions as in how they affected each other from our projects. In our projects, in our cards, it all made us feel something, and it was very difficult to articulate. When we asked you, what do you think of this project, like the project that you made, it was hard to tell what was happening. So, identity, who am I becoming online, means there's a part of awareness. So if we're aware of what we want to become online, so I want my profile to be a support system, or I want my profile to relay who I am. That's a good decision on what the identity of my online presence is. Connection with who am I talking to. So in online spaces, we all talk to people, we interact with each other, even though we've never even met each other. So limiting or trying to be purposeful about who am I talking to. So this person is not good for me. I know that, so I can limit my interactions with them. That's why it's a good question to ask. And maybe if I see someone that is positive effect on me, then I can say this person is good for me and I can be around them more. And emotion is, how does this make me feel? This applies to every second of your online identity, because even if you do nothing online, then there's an algorithm that feeds something to you. So how does this make me feel? Makes it really, makes your awareness higher. The physical and emotional indicators of digital distress, this is something to look out for when we are working with young people. What do they experience? So phantom vibration syndrome is fun. Do you ever do something like this? Your phone rings or there's a text and you check your phone, but there's no text or anything. You just heard it out of nowhere. Yeah, it's like something you're hallucinated or something. It happens to me all the time, and it's a sign of chronic online stress. And restlessness, ability to focus. As we said, the attention economy is really, making us less focused. That's the sign of it. Compulsive checking. So even right now, like throughout the day, I saw you guys when you're listening to me. You said you do this, and then you just continue listening to me. That's a sign of compulsive checking. There might be something important, There might be an emergency or there might be a work email, but it is also a sign. And sleep and daily life interference. As we said, the last thing is, what's the last thing that this person sees? That's because, when we go to sleep, everything that happened in the day and everything that you see, it affects you and how you rest. So trying to be mindful about how you spend your time, especially close to sleeping, it really affects your physical and resting space. And these are all things that you know, but I instead of going through it, I decided to make an experiment. What am I burning?
Example.
Example, yes, example, thank you. So, if I say to a young person, just put your phone away, do you think that it will work? If you say that to me, it won't work. So, what might we say? We may say, you seem tense when your phone lights up. So, when someone is going through something, then they can say, I noticed that when you check your phone, you're really becoming upset. So, why is that? Asking that, When I say you're addicted, it serves nothing, it accomplishes nothing. But if I say, you might benefit from asking for help. If I see someone who is struggling, if I say, you might get some help from asking for help. There are professionals that do this, X, Y, Z. And if I say that, maybe this person will try to, ask for help. It's not a big deal. This is the one that the other ones, they don't say that very often, but this one is, I hear the most. It's not a big deal is really, really bad, because even if it's not a big deal to you, it might be a big deal to them. So if a person is struggling, their struggle is their own. So a harm is a harm. It's not a big deal is a bad word. Do not use it. So it sounds like it feels serious to you. We are taking ourselves away from the conversation and we're focusing on the other person's experience, what this person goes through. So if in your cards, even if you have some broad context, we all have our characters, but it felt important to you at the time. And as we try to close down, I want to say these experiments and the information that we relayed, I hope they are helpful to you. But I hope that you take that away with you on your own projects and work. But I want to ask you, what is the most thing that stick to your mind? What do you think is the most important part that we shared? I really think that supporting and asking for help is important, because even if we try to do these projects, it's kind of stops when you stop sharing the information. So asking for help, asking for support, I think is very important. And I would like to hear shortly about what you guys thought about, and then we can move on to your reflections after that. If anyone, thank you. If anyone wants to share,
I want to say something super, and thank you so much for each of the trainings, and we learned so much things from you. And also I want to thank our participants who participated in our training. It's so valuable, and I think it was a good day for me. Also, and I learned so much things from your presentations. Also, and we try something to do good in our character.